it off here for the Yankees, batting .249 with 5 homers and 25 RBIs. Nolan Ryan making his 13th start of the year. He's 7-3 with a 2.34 ERA. Here's the pitch to Mickey. That's going to be a base on balls right away. Yankees got the leadoff runner aboard here, Mickey Rivers. We're going to do a little hit and run here with Randolph, batting .277 with a homer and 22 RBI. And that's going to be a 28, 52, and an 8. 52. I'll be fielding column 3. And they'll get the batter out at first with the runner on the move. I don't need play, and I'll get Randolph down to second for Thurman Munson now. So 1 out, a runner in scoring position for the captain, batting .306 with 5 homers and 35 RBI. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Bostock in center field. He doesn't have a very good arm. And that's going to be a re-roll of dice. Ball wasn't hit very deep. Let's see here. 28. I think he's going to tag up here and try to get down the third. 28. That's a 54 lower. And he's in there. So that's a sacrifice. Gets the runner down the third. Now you got a runner 90 feet away with Reggie Jackson up. And Reggie's batting .317 on the year with 18 homers, 39 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Rudy in left. And the leadoff walk goes nowhere. Rivers gets stranded at third. Yankees nothing. Angels coming to the plate. Gritch, Langsford, and Bostock due up. And Bobby's batting .245. He's got 4 homers and 15 RBIs. And GULLETT's making his second start for the Yankees. He's a 1-0 with a 1.29 ERA. Here's the pitch to Gritch. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Rivers in center field. And there's 1 down. And Langsford comes to the plate. And he's batting .284 with 5 homers and 23 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this one. See where this ends up at in California. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. And that'll be a 1-out double. And the Angels got the go-ahead run down at second for Bostock with 1 out. And Bostock's batting .325 on the year with no homers and 15 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. And again, not a very good arm out there by Rivers. Well, Langsford tried to tag up. 53 and a 2. I'll be fielding columns 2. Re-roll a dice. And a 2. That'll be a 29. And Langsford's going to stay put. Because a single scoring probably anyway. So fly ball out to center. Now there's 2 outs. And Rudy's up. Langsford down at second, 2 outs. And Joe's batting .273 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty. That'll be a 4 and an 8. And that's going to be a single in the center field. Up the middle. And a 1. That'll be a 55. Langsford's going to score with no throw. RBI single by Rudy puts the Angels up 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Rudy down at first, 2 outs for Don Baylor. And Baylor batting .209 with 10 homers and 31 RBIs. Don to Don, and GULLETT wins this battle. It's a fly ball out the white. And 1 run scores on the RBI single by Rudy. It's 1-0 California. We get to the top of the second. You've got Chambliss, Nettles, and Spencer due up. And Chambliss is batting .242. He's got 2 homers and 31 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Ryan strikes Chambliss out. That's Ryan's first strikeout of the game. 1 up and 1 down here in the second. And Nettles comes up batting .293 with 12 homers and 37 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss also. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the second. Ryan with that 1-run lead coming after these Yankees. And Spencer's up batting .282 with 8 homers and 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. So you've seen the good and the bad. 2 strikeouts and now a walk for Nolan. And Roy White's up now. He's batting .265. He's got 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. So Ryan strikes out 3, and between's a walk. And the Yankees strand the runner at first. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 California. And you got Jackson due up, Ruderman, and Chalk. And Jackson batting .257 with 3 homers and 20 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Randolph. He fires over to first for 1 out. And Merv's up, and Merv Ruderman is batting .250 on the year with no homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a rare play. 40 and a 56. And that's going to be ball 1. So Don falls behind Marv here. And that's going to be a lazy fly ball out the white. 2 up and 2 down here in the second. And Chalk comes up. And Dave batting .230 with no homers and 10 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mickey. And 1, 2, 3 goes the Angels. To the top of the third we go. We got Dent. And then we're back to the top of the order with Rivers and Randolph. And Bucky's batting .295. He's got 1 homer and 22 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss to Ryan Express. Now it's 4 strikeouts in a row. Well, he had to walk in between. And you can see the Yankees are 40 and 14, batting .279 with a .334 on base percentage, slugging .438 with a .772 OPS. California is 24 and 31, batting .258 with an on-base percentage of .322, slugging .430 with a .751 OPS. Mickey's up. He walked his first time up. And that's going to be another base on balls. Mickey's going to try to take off here for second, folks. That'll be a 31. That'll be a 61 or lower. He's safe. And he's in there with a stolen base. So Rivers gets down to second with 1 out and Randolph up. Randolph grounded out his first time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Ryan strikes him out. That's his 5th strikeout, folks. The last 5 outs have all been strikeouts. Now Munson comes up. He's 0 for 1. Flew out his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. He'll go to first, Bobby will. That'll end the inning. So Rivers gets a walk and goes nowhere. Goes to second And it's still 1-0 California as Aaron Reed joins us here. Brian Downing's batting .263. He'll be followed by the top of the order in Grich and Langsford. And Brian's got 3 homers and 18 RBIs on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Randolph. That'll be out number 1. See, the Yankees have scored 283 runs, 62 homers. They've stolen 37 bases and caught 11 times. California has 201 runs, won 34 homers, 35 stolen bases, and been caught 21 times. Bobby Grich is 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Don strikes him out. That's Don's first strikeout of the game. Langsford comes to the plate. He got a double back in the first. Came around to score the only run of the game. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Jackson. Angels go down in order. To the top of the 4th we go. With the big boys coming up here for the Yankees. We got Jackson due up, followed by Chambliss and Nettles. Reggie 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Ryan Express up to 6 strikeouts. Chris Chambliss, he struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. And that's a base on balls. So that's 4 walks to go with the 6 strikeouts. And now you got a runner at first in Greg Nettles, who struck out his first time up. And that's going to be back-to-back walks. And the Ryan Express has walked himself into a mess here. Tying run down at first, go ahead, run. Tying run down at second, go ahead, run at first. And Jim Spencer's up. And he walked his first time up. And he gets a hold of this one. See where this one goes, folks. That'll be an 8. And kiss it goodbye. A 3-run shot by Jim Spencer gives the Yankees a 3-1 lead as Marv turns around and watches this one leave the park. Just like that, the waltz right line in the butt. First hit of the game for the Yankees is a homer, and the Yankees are now up 3-1. And now you got 1 out, nobody on for Roy White. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be against the righty 11. And that's a base hit in the left field. White's aboard here with 1 out. All of a sudden, the Ryan Express is in trouble here in the 4th. And Bucky Dent, he struck out his first time up. And here's the pitch to Bucky. That's going to be a ground ball down the first, a 64 and a 3. I'll be fielding column 3. And that's going to be a single. As Jackson can't get to it. That ball had eyes, folks. Finds its way in the right field. And it's first and second again. 1 out. Last time was a homer by Spencer. Mickey has walked twice and stolen a base. And he gets a hold of this, and the Ryan Express is in trouble. Heap of trouble now. And that ball is blasted in center field. Right center field. Rudy gets over and gets to it. Let's see here. There's only 1 out. That'll be a 56. So White's going to score with no throw. Let's see here. 54. I'm going to try to get Dent out at third. And it'll be a 20, 28. That'll be a 54 lower. Dent's out. And they get him. Nice job by Rudy. But the run scores. Single in the left field. Rudy throws Dent out at third. So now you got a runner down at first, 2 outs, but it's a 4-1 ball game. And Mickey's down at first, and he's not going to stay there long. He's going to take off and try to steal a 61 or lower. He's safe, and he's in there with another stolen base today. He's not supposed to steal, so we'll redo this. We'll stick with the rules. That'll be a 31 against the righty. 16. That's going to be a base hit for Randall. Base hit for Willie. Now you got first and second. Thurman Munson up. And Munson's 0 for 2. He flew out and grounded out. First and second. Can Munson add to this 4-0 lead here? As Ryan is struggling here in the fourth. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Ryan gets his 7th strikeout, but 4 runs scored. 3 of them on the homer by Spencer. And the Yankees take a 4-1 lead into the bottom of the fourth. Got the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up here for the Angels. Bostock, Rudy, and Baylor. And Lehman is 0 for 1 today. Not anymore, folks. He squares this one up. Where's this one going to land at? And that ball is driven into the gap and left field. Nobody's going to get there. And Lehman puts the Jets on, and he's got himself a lead-off triple. Cool. Did not know that. Did not know that, Aaron, buddy. So now you got a runner down at third and nobody out. Yankees will play back. They'll give up the run. 4 and out. Rudy is 1 for 1. He's driven in the only run of the game so far for the Angels. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 5. That'll be a foul ball. And Nettles goes over near the stands, makes the catch. The runner will hold. And there's one big out there. Now Don Baylor's up with the runner still down at third. And Baylor's 0 for 1, flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. 8. 62. Let's see. It's probably going to be fielding column 2. Let's see. 8, 9, 14, 23. And that was a 34. It's going to be popped up in the foul territory again, this time down the first baseline. Chambliss gets over, and Don is 1 out away from the runner not scoring. A leadoff triple. Now there's 2 outs. Runner still down in third. Jackson's up. He's 0 for 1. And that's going to be a pop-up. Pop-up. And Nettles waits for it to come down. So 3 pop-ups after the triple. And Don Gullett gets out of that with nobody scoring, folks. We go to the top of the 5th. It's still a 4-1 Yankee lead. You got the big boys due up here, the 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Yanks. Jackson, Chambliss, and Nettles. Reggie's 0 for 2 against Nolan. And that's going to be a ground ball down the first. The other Jackson, Ron, makes the play. And there's 1 out. Now Chambliss comes up. He's 0 for 1 today. He has yet to put the ball in play. He has struck out. He walked his last time up. Came around to score on the Spencer homer. And that's going to be a rare play. 32 and a 41. That's a foul ball, strike one to Chambliss. He fouls off that 90-some mile-an-hour fastball. And that's going to be a ground ball down the chalk. He bobbles it. That's an E6, and Chambliss is aboard for the second time here today. Now Greg Nettles comes up with a runner at first, one out. Yankees leading by 3. And Nettles, again, the walks killing him, as Ryan has 5 walks to go with the 7 strikeouts. He walked Nettles, and he came around to score on the Spencer homer. Here's the pitch to Greg, and that's going to be a swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 8. Nolan Ryan's starting to look like Linda Ronstadt out there. He's throwing blue bayous. But Jimmy Spencer here, he got around on one and hit a 3-run homer his last time up. He's 1 for 1 today. That's a ground ball down the chalk. He'll go the short way to second. And that ends the inning. Yankees strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 5th in a 4-1 Yankee lead. You got Ruderman, Chalk, and Downing due up here. And Merv is 0 for 1. And that's going to be against the lefty. That's going to be a base hit in the left field. The leadoff batter's aboard here for the Angels. And Chalk comes up. He's 0 for 1 today. And we just dropped the dice, and it's not good. Where did they go? And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Can they turn 2 is the question. And no, they only play. Well, that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out. He strikes Chalk out. Big strike out there by Gulllett. Now there's 1 down runner still at first. And Brian Downing's up. He grounded out his first time up. And that's going to be a pop-up behind home plate. Munson takes the mask off, and there is 2 down. So it's up to Bobby Grich to do something here with a runner on first, 2 outs. Grich is 0 for 2, struck out his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Bucky Dent, 1-9. That's a nice play by Bucky. He dives, gets to the ball, gets up, fires over to first, and out of win the inning. 1 runner left on. To the top of the 6th we go. We got White due up, followed by Dent, and then back to Rivers. White is 1 for 2. He singled and came around to score his last time up. And that's going to be against the righty. That's going to be a single in the left field. So the Yankees got the leadoff batter aboard here. And Bucky Dent comes to the plate. And Bucky's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Ryan. Let's see, a 16 and a 1. Fielding column 2. And they'll get the runner out at second. That's a 1-6 put out. So now Dent's down at first with Rivers up with 1 out. And Rivers is 1 for 1. He's walked twice, driven in 1, and has a stolen base. His last time up, and that's going to be another ground ball back to the mound. And this time The only play will be over to first. And a runner will get in scoring position now with 2 outs. And Willie Randolph comes up. He's a 1 for 3, singled his last time up. Down in scoring position. And that's going to be against the righty. 16 and a 11. That's going to be a single in the left field. And Dent with average speed. See if he can score here. That was only an 11. There's 2 outs. That'll be a 47. A 21. You got Munson up. A 21 there. That's a 43 or lower. They're going to send him here with 2 outs. 43 or lower. And he's in there. Barely gets in. That's a 42. Downing is jumping up and down. Swears they got him. But the umpire says he's safe. And it is now 5-1 New York. Lucky Dent slides underneath the tag and makes it a 4-run ball game. Now you got Randolph down at second. Down at first. Munson at the plate. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be against the righty. 16 and a 9. And that's a hit by Munson. And all of a sudden, 2 outs. Ryan can't get out of this inning, folks. That brings up Reggie Jackson. And Reggie is 0 for 3 against Ryan. First and second. This will probably be Ryan's last batter one way or the other. Reggie is 0 for 3 today. And that's going to be against the righty. A 5 and a 10. And that is going to be a single. That's going to fill the bases. An infield hit by Reggie. So the bases are full. Chambliss is at the plate. And they're going to let him try to get out of this mess. Chambliss is 0 for 2. He has reached on a walk and came around the score and reached on an error his last time up. And that's going to be a 37. The pitcher, 65. That's going to be a rare play. Base is full. 37. On 37. Yeah, base is full. On 37. That'll be a 34. 37. That'll be hit down the short. Chalk's down there. 44 and an 8. 44 and an 8. That'll be fielding column 2. And that's going to be a line drive right at him. Chambliss hits it hard. Chalk makes the catch. And they get out of the inning with only 1 run scoring. But it is now 5-1. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Langsford's due up, followed by Bostock and Rudy. And Langsford's 1 for 2. He's doubled in this game. Came around to score the only run for the Angels. And that's going to be against the lefty. That's going to be a single. So Langsford starts off the inning with a base hit. And Bostock comes up now. Nobody out, 1 on. He tripled his last time up and got stranded at third. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 10. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. And with nobody out, the run doesn't mean nothing. Langsford's going to stop at second. And all of a sudden, GULLETT here in the 6th is in a trouble here. He's got a 4-run lead as Sean joins us. You're doing well, Sean, buddy. Hope you are too. And Rudy's 1 for 2. He has the lone RBI. First and second, nobody out. And that's going to be a fly ball. Nope, that's going to be a hit by pitch. And all of a sudden, Gullick has got himself in a hell of a mess here. Beatty out, nobody out, and Don Baylor's up. That's going to get the bullpen up in a hurry here. Got all these righties coming up. So Jim Beatty's going to get up along with Eastwick. So Beatty and Eastwick's up in the bullpen. Don Baylor's 0 for 2 today. Yankees looking for a double play ball. Instead, Gullick walks in the run here, folks. They go out and talk to him and tell him you got a 4-run lead, boy. Throw the ball over the damn plate. Ryan Jackson's up now. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped up. And that's going to be against the lefty. That's going to be a single in the center field. And that's probably going to do it for Don, as he can't get a single out here in this 6th inning. It'll be a single in the center field. And do they want to try to get Rudy out? Throw the ball in the 2nd and the 3rd. So I'm going to try to get Rudy out at the plate here. So that'll be a 56. So I'm going to throw the ball in here, try to get Rudy out. 33. And that'll be a 63 or lower. He's safe. And he's in there. So that's an RBI, 2 RBI single. The runner gets down the 3rd. And it's 1st and 3rd, still nobody out, and that's going to be it for Don. And who are they going to bring in now? And it's just a 1-run ball game. They'll have to bring the infield in. He was cruising through 5 innings, and all of a sudden it just got blown up, folks. So Don's done. Let's see here. Is Beatty coming in, or is Eastwick coming in? Looks like it's going to be Jim coming in here to pitch. Try to keep this a 1-run game all of a sudden here. Runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out. And let's see, do they want them to have a pitch hitter come out here? And yep, Ken Landry is going to come off the bench. So that'll be a switch here. He'll stay in the game and play right. So Ken Landry, the lefty, is going to come off the bench. So Jim Beatty's making his 8th appearance, his 1st appearance out of the bullpen. He's 5-1 with a 2.13 ERA. Ken comes off the bench batting .195 with no homers and 2 RBIs. 1st and 3rd, nobody out in a 5-4 game. Infield in, here's the pitch to Ken. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short with the infield in, and that's going to make it through. That's going to be a single. And Jackson's going to stop at 2nd. And it's a tie ball game, folks, as Bucky Dent with the infield in couldn't get to it. So now 1st and 2nd. And it's a 5-5 ball game. And Chalk's up now with the go-ahead run down at 2nd. Still nobody out. Geez, you Pete, this game is getting out of hand quick for the Yankees. Chalk is 0 for 2. He did strike out his last time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. And now the bases are full again and still nobody out. And Brian Downing's up. And again, the Yankees bringing the infield in. Downing's 0 for 2. He has popped up and grounded out. And that's going to be a base on balls. Jim has just walked in the go-ahead run. Unbelievable. Still bases loaded. 6 runs now for the Angels. 5 this inning. Still nobody out. Bobby Grich is up. And he gets a hold of this, and this game is turned ugly in a hurry, folks. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball is off the wall. Out in left center field. That'll score 2 at least. It might clear the bases. Nobody out. 42. 24. And they're not going to send him. So that's going to be a double in the center field. Left center field. Grich drives in 2 more. And it is now an 8-5 ball game. And you got runners at second and third and still nobody up. And Corey Langsford's up. And the Yankees now are just playing back to get a damn out. Unbelievable. A 7-run inning here. Corey's 2 for 3 with a double. And he started this inning off, if I remember correctly, with the single. Let's see here. If I remember correctly. See here. Yes, he did. He started this inning off with a single. Still nobody out. Here's the pitch to Corey. And that's going to be, this is crazy, folks. This is crazy. That's a high fly ball out there. Rivers makes one hell of a catch off. Nice play by Mickey Rivers to make the catch. Nice catch out there, but that's probably going to be deep enough for Brian to tag up. 4-46. $28 he scored. 28. 28. That would be a 54. So 54. They're going to try for it. A 54 or lower, he's safe. And he's in there easily. So that's a sacrifice fly. The runners advance 1 base. And now you got a runner down at third. And finally there's an out. And Bostock's up. And he singled his first time up this inning. And the infielder come in, and it's now a 9-5 ball game. And that's going to be a 9 against an 8. And that's going to be a single in the center field. And it is a 10-5 good buddy game. Sure. This game got ugly fast. Ugly fast. Now Rudy's up. And Rudy got hit by a pitch his first time up. And now you got a runner down at first, 1 out, and a 10-5 ball game. 9 runs this inning. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Rudy strikes out. And now Don Baylor comes to the plate. And he walked and came around the score and drove in a run when he walked. And that's going to be a base on balls again. So Baylor walks both times in this inning. And Ron Jackson comes to the plate now for the second time. And he singled and drove in to his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball to center field, and the inning's finally over. 9 runs come across the plate. Angels take a 10-5 lead into the 7th inning. And we got to get a new right fielder in the game. Ken Landreau came in to pitch hit. He'll stay in the game and play right field. And you got Nettles, Spencer, and White due up, and all of a sudden Nolan Ryan, who was trailing 5-1 the last time we took the mound, has a 5-run lead now. Here's the pitch to Nettles, who's 0 for 2. He has struck out twice, then walked, yet to put the ball in play. Came around to score the time he walked. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. The Ryan Express now with a 5-run lead. Should be throwing nothing but heaters, daring them to hit it. And Jim Spencer, who had that 3-run homer, gave the Yankees a 3-1 lead at the time. Comes up and he gets a hold of it again. So Spencer's got Nolan's number. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field. So that's a 1-out double. Spencer's in scoring position. Roy White comes to the plate. And White is 2 for 3. And he has singled his last 2 times up. Can he keep it going? And he gets a hold of this. And all of a sudden the Ryan Express don't like having a 5-run lead. And that ball is hammered into the gap. Let's see where that ends up at. 11. 5 and a 2. And that's going to be a deep center field. Lehman playing too shallow, gets over his head. And with White's speed, that's an easy triple. And now the Yankees got a run in and a runner on third. And it's a 10-6 good buddy game. And they'll play back, trying to get Ryan through this 7th inning. Dent is 1 for 3. He has singled in this game. And that's going to be against the righty, 13. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. And I have to re-roll a dice. A 4. That'll be a 42. And a 21. They're sending him. Try to get the run in here. So what was it? A 42. So a 21. That'll be a 43 or lower. He's safe. And nothing's going the Yankees' way. Ken Landreau comes in, gets a pitch hit. Now he throws White out at the plate. And that'll end the inning, folks. The Yankees get 1. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It's a 10-6 ball game. You got Landreau, who came in and pitched hit, drove in a run. Back in the 6th. Followed by Chalk and Downey. Ken here today. Here's the pitch Ken. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Jim strikes him out for out number 1. Chalk comes up now. He's 0 for 2. Walked and came around to score his last time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mickey. Now there's 2 down here in the 7th. And Brian Downing comes to the plate. and he's 0 for 2. He walked and drove in a run back in the 6th. And here's the pitch to Ryan, and that's going to be a rare play, a 38 and a 45. That's going to be hit back to the mound. A 21 and a 1. 21 and a 1. And that's going to be a single as Jim can't get to it. And that makes its way in the center field. And there's 1 on, 2 outs. Back to the top of the order, and Bobby Grich. And Grich doubled and drove in 2 his last time up. And that's going to be a ground ball. Might be a fly ball, rather. If that's going to be a ground ball down to Willie. He fires over the first. And that ends the 7th. 1 runner gets stranded. We go to the top of the 8th. I think that's going to be it for the Ryan Express. Who you got coming up here? Got the lefties and 2 righties. I believe Miller's going to come in the game here. Miller. Where's a Miller? So that'll be it for Ryan. So he's able to make it through the 7th inning. Wasn't pretty, but he got through it. You got Rivers, Randolph, and Munson due up here against Miller. Miller, this is his 30th appearance. He's 1-7 with a 6.96 ERA. Rivers is 1 for 2 today. He has walked twice, driven in a run, and stole a base. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Bobby. That'll be out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here in the 8th. Willie Randolph comes up. He's 2 for 4 today. He has 2 singles and an RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Miller strikes him up. 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. And Munson comes up now. And Thurman's 1 for 4. He singled his last time up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that'll end the top of the 8th. Yankees go down 1, 2, 3 to the bottom of the 8th we go. This will be Jim's last inning, one way or the other. Langsford, Bostock, and Rudy due up. Corey is 2 for 3. He singled and had a sacrifice fly back in the 6th. Reached, and he's not done yet. He squares this one up. Corey Langsford having a hell of a game, and that ball is hit down the 3rd. Nettles gets to it, but doesn't have a play. And Corey Langsford's safe at first. And an infield hit. Bostock comes up. He's 3 for 4. He had 2 singles back in the 6th. And that's going to be a base on balls. And here we go again. Sure. Now you got Rudy up with nobody out first and second. And Rudy was hit by a pitch and struck out in the 6th. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. See if Langsford's going to try to tag up. And he'll stay put. So that's 1 down. And Ron Baylor comes to the plate. And Baylor's 0 for 2. He has walked twice. He walked in the 6th both times and drove in a run. And that's going to be a pop up behind home plate. Munson takes the mask off, makes the catch, and there's 2 down. And Ronnie Jackson comes to the plate. He's 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He had a single and flew out back in the 6th. That's going to be against the righty. 11 and a 7. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And that's going to score Langsford easily. The question is, Will Bostock get down the third? And a 30. 30. Be a 56 or lower. And he's in there. So an RBI by Jackson. And now you got first and third. And an 11-6 game. And Ken Langsford comes up. He's 1 for 2 today. He has singled and struck out. And we drop the dice. And that's going to be a ground ball. I think that's going to be a swing and a miss. Beatty strikes him out. And that'll end the inning. But Angels score 1, making a 5-run game. The Yankees got some work to do here. Let's see, is that going to be it for Miller? Are they going to bring the lefty in to face the 3 lefties? Well, Roche is out there in the bullpen. And that's who's coming in. Dave's going to come in here and try to lock this game down. The 3 lefties are coming up. Well, they got a 5-run lead. To hell with that. They're going to let Miller pitch here. Got a 5-run lead. He's got Jackson, Chambliss, and Nettles due up. As you see, California's got one more game here against the Yankees. Then they go out east and take on Boston for 2 games. And then they head down I-95 to take on the Orioles. And here's the pitch to Reggie, who's 1 for 4, singled his last time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. The Yankees need base runners. Now you got Chambliss up, trailing by 5. Chambliss is 0 for 3. He has reached base twice. He has walked and reached on an error. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 54 and an 8. And that's going to be fielding column 3. First on error, runner to third. So that's a throwing error. That's an E6. The runner's going to get down the third. So all of a sudden, Angels trying to make this game a little interesting here. With Nettles up, nobody out. And he's 0 for 3 today. He has walked and he has struck out all the other 3 times. He has yet to put the ball in play. Can Nettles deliver here, folks? And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And they're not even going to try to throw Jackson out. They're going to let him score on the sacrifice fly and throw the ball in. So it makes it a 11-7 game. That keeps the double play in order with a runner on at first. So now Spencer, who was hitting Ryan well. He is 2 for 3. He has a double, a homer, and 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Spencer. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Rudy. And that's 2 down. Yankees down to their last out. Roy White, can he keep this game alive? He is 3 for 4. He's got a triple and an RBI. And that's going to be against the righty. 15 and a 9. And he does. That's a nice job. He beats out that Baltimore chopper. And the game's still alive here, folks. First and second, 2 outs. And Bucky Den at the plate. We keep it merry-go-round going. He's 1 for 4. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 56 and a 4. And they're screwing the pooch here, folks. That's going to be a throwing error. Runners advance 2 bases. So a run's going to score. And we got first and third. And all of a sudden, these Angels look like they're trying to give the ball game away. So first and third, 2 outs. We're back to the top of the order. And all of a sudden now the time runs out the plate and Mickey Rivers. And Don And Miller can't believe what he's seeing here. So Mickey is 1 for 3. He has walked twice, driven in on run, and stole the base. Can Mickey keep this game alive? And that's going to end it, folks. That's going to be a ground ball. 53 and a 2. That'll be fielding column 2. That's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Miller fields it cleanly, throws over to first. And that's your ball game. What a crazy, crazy game. Ken Castro joins us here. Angels hang on to win 11-8. What a crazy damn game this was. Take a look here at the box score as the Angels tried to give this game away after the Yankees let them score 9 runs in that 6th inning. Now let's see if that works. Does that work? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Now let's see if that works. Does that works. Hello, hello, hello. So something's wrong with this. So something's wrong with this. So when I transfer, so I think I found out. That the one screen's not working. So that just sucks. Why isn't it working? That just sucks. Why isn't it? Now let's see. Now let's see if it works. If I transfer it over. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, let's see what happens. That is what it is. Definitely is what it is. That is what it is. Now I gotta try to figure this shit out. What's going on with this screen? Why isn't this screen picking up the mic? Got me. Alrighty, let's finish this video. This is taking way too long. Way too long. Go through here and play these games out. This sucks, and I'll have to try to figure this out. Twins and Indians. Alright, the Twins win. What's the star about? 4 double plays. Kansas City and Detroit. And Tigers win. Toronto, Milwaukee. And Brewers shut out the Blue Jays. Orioles and A's. And the Orioles 9-4. What's the star for? Oh, May had a grand slam in the game, huh? Lee May. Then you got the Red Sox and Mariners. Can the Red Sox pick up a game on the Yanks? And yes, they do. They beat up on the Mariners. And the last game here in the American League, the White Sox and the Rangers. And the White Sox win. Take a look here real quick at the standings. Yankees now 7 games up on Boston. Tigers 8.5 games back. The Brewers 10.5. Blue Jays are 14. Orioles 18.5. And the Indians are 19. Out west, the Twins are now 2.5 games up on Chicago. A's 5. The Kansas City 5. The Rangers 5.5. Angels 7.5, and Seattle 16 games back. Jim Rice took over the batting league again, batting .354. Reggie with 18 homers and Rice with 56 RBIs. Guidry leading the American League with a 1.45 ERA. Figueroa 10 wins. Gossage 14 saves. Rice leading in MVP voting. And Ed Figueroa. I want to thank Sean and Ken and Aaron Reed for stopping by. Till next time, guys, you all have a great day. You all take care.